Hello everyone and welcome to Wilkes Now. I'm Allison Cibulka.
And I'm Jacob Chasen.
So how about all this crazy winter weather we're having, huh?
I know. I mean, it's 4 to 8 inches, right? Tomorrow?
Yeah, on Wednesday. And then over the weekend, you know, there was that crazy storm right in time for the Super Bowl. So I went to a nice little get together with my friends, and I had like a nice little spin out in the snow.
I was going to say, almost died on the way there.
Honestly, yeah, but it was worth it. It was a great time, you know.
Good.
The big game. So yeah, you gotta love it. Career Services will host a career and internship fair from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Thursday, March 15th in the UCOM. A variety of organizations will be seeking students and alumni for full-time, part-time, and summer jobs, internships, co-ops, and volunteer positions. Work on your resume now, create or update your account with Career Services by using www.collegecentral.com/Wilkes and upload your resume to get started. Now let's take it to Andre with a sneak peek of the new art exhibit here at Wilkes.
Reporting for Wilkes Now. Today I am at the Sardoni Art Gallery where Angela Fraley will be showing off some of her work as well as giving a lecture on it. In this exhibition, Angela Fraley reimagines the role of women as they have been depicted in art history, literature, and media. She reaches through the depths of centuries-old and often patriarchal tradition to breathe new agency into her female subjects. The grade-scale works feature luxurious depth that makes them sometimes Edenic, sometimes mystical, but always breathtaking.
Well, my work's always been about how meaning gets made. And what I mean by that is how we come to believe certain things, either personally or culturally, how kind of systems of belief kind of get made. And I think that happens through the words that we use with one another, through literature, language, etc., but also through the images that we see on a regular basis. Someone gave me the statistic today saying that 96% of directors in Hollywood are male. And if that's the case, then we're getting one small lens and perspective through the eye of one gender, and that permeates a culture, and so that's what sets up a belief structure just in one arena right there. Obviously it happens in art, it happens in advertising, it happens in lots of ways. So I'm really curious about that, and so my work starts to kind of probe the body language, the postures, the ways in which we see images and ways that women are represented and presented over and over again, and the power dynamic that's inherent within that.
Fraley earned her MFA from Yale University and her BFA from Boston University. She is the chair of studio art at Moravian College. She currently lives and works in New York and Allentown, Pennsylvania.
So I always drew as a kid, and but it wasn't really until high school that I had some very encouraging art teachers who really helped kind of show what a life in the arts could be like, the breadth and depth that art provides, how it can literally change culture, and that just sold me. So thankfully to them, Charmin Fitchett and Nick Lamagino, if you're out there, big thanks to them. And then once I got to college, I just, fell in love, and it became obsessive.
So on the art gallery website, it said all the stuff that you've been awarded or nominated for and all that, and the list is quite long, which is an accomplishment to yourself. With that being said, is there any plans for the future?
Yeah, I have a couple of shows coming up. I've recently been working with institutions doing site-specific projects. Like I'll research, the Vanderbilt mansion and the people that lived there and try to figure out, like if I could make work in response to that. So recently, or upcoming, I should say, I have a show coming up at the Edward Hopper House in Nyack, New York, in response to Edward Hopper. It was his boyhood home, and I'm making work in response to his wife, Jo Nivison Hopper, who was an artist. And then I have a show coming up at the Reading Public Museum in 2019 and the Delaware Art Museum in 2019. So I have no idea what I'm doing for those yet, but it'll be fun.
The Sardoni Art Gallery will be hosting a series of lunchtime lectures known as Art in Context.
And we decided to create this lecture series using the expertise of our scholars on campus. So we have a lecture that's going to talk a little bit about the Me Too movement. We have a lecture that speaks about fairy tales and women in conjunction with beasts and fairy tales. And then we have our final lecture that looks at aggression as it has been conveyed in literature. So we're very excited to have that, and it's a way to kind of connect with some of our professors outside of the classroom, talking a little bit more about their own personal expertise.
The gallery plans on holding 3 more lectures this month. For any information regarding these lectures or any other information regarding the art gallery, visit www.wilkes.edu/Sardoni Art Gallery. For Wilkes Now, I'm Andre Spruill. Back to you in the studio.
The Weavens team from the freshman IME business class is selling Wilkes Colonel's Care wristbands to raise money for VAMC, a veterans organization. They're reaching out in hopes that clubs would be interested in buying a bulk of their product to use for various events. They believe this is a great way to support Wilkes and its business program, as well as continue the tradition of Colonels giving back. They are willing to negotiate on pricing. Please email Ashley Abbey at ashley.abbey@wilkes.edu with any questions or to place an order. We will be right back after this short break.
Mother Earth, a gift under our care. Let's not go back. Nurture nature. Nourish the soil and your soul. Let's mend our planet together. Make Mother Earth smile.
Just go do it. Go do it.
If you're not in control, then who is? Live above the influence.
Welcome back. Interested in writing for a journal or newsletter? Join Brainwaves. Brainwaves is a newsletter staffed with writers passionate about various topics, from general education to intricate neuroscience. Write short articles of 200 words or more on a topic of your choice, ranging from personal stories on psychology to emerging research in neuroscience. No experience is required. You can learn more about this opportunity on the Wilkes Today page. Now let's take it to Sports Now.
Welcome to Sports Now. I'm Kirsten Peters. Luke Madrofsky is off today. Today's top story is Jonathan Dratch has been hired as the new leader for Colonel football. Dratch completed his 11th season with Hobart College and heads to Wilkes for his first head coaching position, leaving his offensive coordinator, quarterback's coaching role behind. In addition to coaching record-breaking offenses, Dratch started 3 seasons as quarterback at Division I Western Michigan. During his senior season, he completed a single-season record 67% of his passes for 1,499 yards and 13 touchdowns. In other news, the acting title is gone, and Brandon Michael is the next head coach of Wilkes baseball. The 2014 Wilkes grad will look to fill the shoes of Nate Ramsey, who departed Wilkes with a record of 28 wins and 45 losses. In the John Reese duels on Sunday, January 28th, Colonels took it to the mat and ended the day with 2 victories. Individually, freshman Kyle Trout, senior Matt Grossman, junior Josh Evans, and junior Ashton Janice finished their days perfect with 3 wins in 3 matches. As for women's basketball, they hit the court twice this week. On Wednesday, it was a 104-63 point loss to visiting FDU Florham. Sophomore Kelsey Ustat finished with a career-high 9 points off the bench. In Saturday's game on the road against Manhattanville, Chelsea Urkis hit another career-high 13 points. But it would not be enough to push the Lady Colonels to a victory as they fell 63-45. Men's basketball took care of business last Wednesday against FDU Florham with an 86-59 point blowout victory. Sophomore Rob Pecorelli led all scorers with 19 points. Saturday's game would prove to be an issue, though, as host Manhattanville broke the Colonels' 5-game win streak by outscoring the visitors 45-28 in the second half, en route to a 73-63 final. Men's basketball returns to action on Wednesday when they travel to DeSales. Both teams are currently tied for first in MAC Freedom action. Men's and women's swimming closed out their dual meet season. On the men's side, they suffered a 130-68 defeat to visiting Kings. Freshman Jared Bryan earned 2 wins in the 200 freestyle, 1 minute 49.34 seconds, and 100 freestyle, 1 minute 34.87 seconds. For the women, it was freshman Abby Keating leading the way by taking second in 2 individual events, the 200 IM and the 100 backstroke. She finished in 2 minutes 26.89 seconds and 1 minute 8.41 seconds respectively. The Lady Colonels fell 155-37 to crosstown rival Kings. Colonel Volleyball in their first ever Colonel Volleyball fell in their first ever Middle Atlantic Conference match to Stevenson, 12-25, 14-25, and 14-25. Senior Daniel Sales had 8 kills, 7 assists, and 7 digs. Congratulations to last week's 2 athletes of the week, Tommy Bowen of men's basketball and Gianna Roberts of women's basketball. Don't forget to vote for the athlete of the week at Wilkes Beacon on their Twitter poll. On the men's side, it's basketball's Rob Pecorelli taking on wrestling's Josh Evans. For the females, it's swimming's Abby Keating against basketball's Kelsey Ustat. Voting closes Wednesday at noon. That's all today for Sports Now. I'm Kirsten Peters, and we'll be right back after this public service announcement.
Cancer will strike more than 175,000 kids worldwide this year alone. The likelihood that teens and young adults will survive cancer is far greater when treated by pediatric oncologists. Survival can depend on experts in childhood cancer and collaborative groundbreaking research. To learn how you can help keep these kids in play, go to stbaldricks.org/inplay or standuptocancer.org/pediatrics.
The Education Department of Wilkes University is once again sponsoring Adventures in Reading, an after-school reading program for children in grades pre-K through 5. Teacher education candidates will present innovative learning opportunities across the content areas with a focus on vocabulary and comprehension enrichment. The series of 7 sessions, which is free of charge, begins on Wednesday, February 21st, 2018 from 4 to 5 p.m. on the 2nd floor of Bryce Hall. contact Dr. Diane Polachek at diane.polachek@wilkes.edu for more information and registration forms. Let's check in with Danny at the Emily Gavigan's lecture.
This is Danny Van Brunt reporting for Wilkes Now. Today, the Department of Psychology and Neuroscience are hosting Emily Gavigan in Bryce at 320 for a presentation about her life called Madness. This presentation is about how Gavigan's doctors and family members were baffled by what she was going through. She eventually was diagnosed with autoimmune encephalitis, which makes the antibodies that are created to fight off diseases change course to attack the body. In this case in particular, the antibodies attack the NMDA receptor in her brain. The receptor lets brain cells communicate with one another, which helps with functions ranging from memory to breathing. After many misdiagnoses and faulty treatments, Susanna Callahan's work as a journalist helped Gavigan's parents figure out the cause of her illness. Callahan was diagnosed with the disorder as well, speaking on national television about her story and the disease. Callahan now has a New York Times bestselling book called Brain on Fire, detailing Emily's story. People often mistake autoimmune encephalitis as a psychological issue rather than a neurological one. This can lead to various wrong and harmful treatments to these patients. How does it feel to watch your daughter give a presentation like this in front of all the students here?
Well, actually, it's very satisfying to see Emily, how she is now and how far she's come since her illness about 7 or 8 years ago now. There were times when we didn't think she'd, never mind, be able to speak to a bunch of college students here and spread awareness for the disease. We didn't think she may not even live, so it's very satisfying to see that she can do this kind of work now and help spread awareness. And I really think it was terrific of Dr. Chicatano and Wilkes for allowing Emily to come and speak to the students, because I think you saw from the reaction of the students they were very interested, especially someone Emily's only a few years older than most of the students, and I think some of them probably know some friends that may have some symptoms like this, or may encounter people throughout their lives. Also may go into a field, the medical field, where the information that Emily provided will be very helpful to them.
It was a great presentation indeed, and thank you. So we're here with a relative of the family and has been around for the duration of the illness. So how was it seeing her stand in front of the students and give this presentation tonight?
Oh, it's fantastic. It's wonderful to see her share her story, because she has made it her mission to raise awareness about this condition and about this disease. And she and Susanna Cahalan together have done so much to raise awareness. And it's great to see her and to see local people be interested in it and come out, and to see college students, because I'm a college professor myself, and it's nice to see people come out and be genuinely interested in what she has to say, and the medicine behind it, and the psychology behind it, and the science behind it. So it's very good.
And she's come a long way, and you've seen a lot of it. So
yes.
How has she come? How far has she come?
Oh, she's come completely full circle. After Susanna Cahalan wrote her book, Brain on Fire, Emily shared some of her journals with me. And you could see where, when she first got out of the hospital, she couldn't even write. And you can see she had to keep like a daily journal, almost like a diary of things that were going on. And I could see how she progressed, and how she really, she would practice letters daily, like tens and tens of pages of different types of writing to try to get back to normal as quickly as she could. As she mentioned in the presentation, she was going to get better as fast as she could, physically, with the physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, because there was a time when she had problems swallowing. She couldn't really speak at all. And as she said, she had numbness in her face, and there was, so she really, really had a lot of physical issues associated with this.
It was a great presentation and a great story.
Yes.
Thank you very much for weighing in.
You're welcome.
And this was Danny Van Brunt reporting for Wilkes Now. Back to the studio.
Now for a short public service announcement.
If you want to stay on top of your health, one simple thing to do
is take the pledge to go and get screened for the cancers that might affect you.
So stand up, cancer, and take the pledge at
GetScreenedNow.org. It only takes a minute to take care of yourself, and nothing rhymes with org.
Nope, nothing rhymes with org. Who wrote this?
And that's all the time we have for today. Just a reminder, you can watch us live every Tuesday on Service Electric Channel 97 at 12 noon. Also, check us out on YouTube for episodes of the show.
I thank you very much for watching. From all of us here at Wilkes Now, have a great week.